On this week's show, how to find great buy, refurbish, refinance deals.
In the news, we're talking about how a property levy is going to be replacing stamp duty.
And we're going to be answering all your property-related questions. Welcome to the Property Investors Podcast. Thanks so much for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe so you never miss an upload. You can catch us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify and YouTube. Enjoy this week's show and don't forget to share it with all your friends. Hey, I'm Russell Leeds.
I'm Alaisdair Cunningham.
And welcome to the Property Investors Podcast. It's very cold this time of year.
It's ridiculously cold. It's snowing outside and
I
went
for a walk this morning. It was -2.
Yeah.
Right? And I was walking the dog. And my hands, because I didn't have any gloves or anything, you can't. But you got a lead. You're holding the lead, and my fingers were absolutely.
I know what is missing.
What's that?
A little dog.
A pair of gloves.
A pair of gloves.
I am missing a pair of gloves. I am. But yeah, it must be alright having such little dogs that can't really walk properly.
What we actually have?
Do you know what you can do? You can pick them up and put them in his man bag.
I'm being serious. We actually have this. It's a belt. It's a belt that you put around your waist. And then you attach the dog leads to the belt, so you're hands free.
I can just see you walking down the road doing your power walk in your Lycra with your two little.
Yeah, I couldn't do that though, because my dogs would drag. I literally would, especially in the snow, they would just pull. I'd be straight down, getting dragged along the floor. Talking about my dogs though, and the size of them and stuff. So Nate, who's a Bull Mastiff Cross Rottweiler, big dog. I took him out into the garden the other day and went down into the at the bottom of our garden. There's like a wooded bit.
On the west wing. Is that the west wing or the west wing? Okay, fine. Yeah.
No, that's the east wing.
Oh, fine.
That's the east wing. So we went into he'd gone off into the woods, and I called him to come back. I was like, "Look, come on, Nate, we're coming back in now." And he,
come on, Nate, we're coming back in now. Like you have a conversation with him.
I do have a conversation with him.
Okay.
I do have a conversation with him. Right. I am like that. I'm like, come on, man, let's go. I'm not like, I do. Right. So anyway, so I go back out. I'm walking back. I hear him coming running. Now, normally, Nate's... do you know, you got, like, Jackson's quite clumsy. He'll push past me and stuff. Yeah. Nate doesn't. He's really good. He'll always run back. But because of the trees... So I'm, like, standing there, and he literally runs into the back of me. Full pelt. Both my feet leave the floor. I flicked up in the air, landed smack on my back. It's all muddy out there and everything. I'm just covered in mud. It went through my clothes all onto me. I was just like...
How pissed off were you?
What did you say to Nate? Did you have a word with him?
I just went, fucking hell, Nate.
No, Nate, that's not a good boy. You shouldn't be doing that.
Mate, I was...
Were you pissed?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I was covered in mud. Absolutely covered. It went through my clothes. It hurt as well. I just went bang on my back on the floor.
Yeah, the problem is the older you get, because now obviously you're in your 30s. You're 32 now, aren't you?
I was 32.
Yeah, I knew your happy birthday. Yeah, it was your birthday the other day. So now you're getting old and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, Alaisdair rang me on my birthday and was just...
I rang him 3 times on his birthday. The first time we had a conversation in the morning, then the second time, and he kept saying, "Oh, have you got anything you want to say?" And I'm like,
I didn't do that.
No. And then I forgot it was his birthday. And then I saw on Facebook people wishing him happy birthday about 5 o'clock at night, and I rang him and went, "Hey, is it your birthday day?" And he went, "Yeah." I went, "Happy birthday, man. That's on reason the phone. Thanks. Happy birthday." It was just so I suck at birthdays. Anyway, this week's show.
Why limited just to birthdays?
Yeah. I know. Anniversaries, weddings, all that sort of crap. I'm rubbish at all of them. Anyway, this week's show. Last week we talked about how to find a good single let and great single let properties. So this week we're going to talk about how to find a great buy, refurb, refinance.
We also talked about how to work out the return on investment, which actually is probably less important for buy, refurbish, refinance.
Yeah,
in a way.
It is a little bit, yeah, because if you do it right, it should be as close to infinity as possible. Because if you do it right, you should be able to get all of your initial investment back, and it's leveraged entirely by lending. So it should be good. So how do you go about finding a buy, refurbish, refinance?
So... First of all, what is a buy, refurbish, refinance? So a buy, refurbish, refinance is where you buy a property that needs refurbishing. Yeah. You refurbish it and then you refinance it to pull your money back out. So in theory, what you're doing is you're buying it, you're adding value to it, and then you get a new mortgage for its new value. Yeah. Which, if you do correctly and you add enough value, you should be able to pull out all your money.
So basically, you're looking for rundown properties that are tired, dated, have issues, have damp issues, structural issues that are just like not being looked after for years. And generally, the bigger the problem, the bigger the profit. Generally, the bigger the problem, the less the competition, because people get scared off by that. So really, properties that are old, tired, dated, run down, problematic, they're the sort of properties to go for.
Now, you do need cash for this strategy.
Cash or bridging finance, yeah.
But even if you do bridging finance, typically you're going to need, say, 40%.
Yeah, 35 to 40%. Yeah,
for a deposit. So it's not like a no money down strategy. So if you're more interested in no money down strategies, then it maybe look at lease options or rent to rent. But if you've got a bit of cash, I can't think of a better strategy. People come to me sometimes and say like, "Oh, I've got 40 grand, I've got 50 grand." Or someone said to us last week, 120 grand, what should I do?
Yeah.
This, for me, is the go-to strategy if you've got a bit of money.
Yeah.
Because even if it doesn't work, it's still only, let's say for some reason you can't refinance it. It's only like you're buying a property anyway.
Yeah, but you'll still be able to refinance it. You will still be able to refinance it.
But if it doesn't stack up, it doesn't value up.
But you'd still get some money back.
Yeah.
You would still get, let's say that the biggest problem I see with buy, refurb, refinance is people underestimate how much the refurb is going to cost and they overestimate the end value.
Yeah.
So they always say it's going to be worth more than it is, and they always say the refurb is going to be less than it is. So if your numbers have to be right here. So let's say you're doing a deal, you're buying for 100, it needs £25,000-30,000 spending on it, and then it's going to be worth, say, 160 or 170. The likelihood is the easiest way to work it out is we have a formula for this. So the easiest way was you need to understand the numbers. Really important. So the first number to know is the purchase price. How much is it? How much can you get it down? Your job is to find the deals that you can negotiate the price as low as possible. The second number to know...
Low market value is not an easy thing to achieve right now, is it?
No, not at the minute, because we're in a seller's market. Absolutely. But they're still possible. Like I was out 2 weeks ago with Rick, and we looked at many properties. And like we looked at a bungalow that was on the market for 169, and after negotiating and speaking with the agent, we know that the agent said, look, if you put an offer in over 100, it will be looked at very seriously. So we're not going to get it for 100, but we might get it for 120. It's worth like 180, 190, but it does need a 40 grand refurb. Yeah, done up. It does need a 40k refurb. So like the numbers you need to know. Purchase price you need to get as low as possible. The second number is all of your acquisition costs. So that can be things like the mortgage, the lending, the interest rates, the legals, the bridging costs, the refurb. So the second cost is all of the costs for you to get that property to a condition where you can either sell it or rent it out. So it's everything, right? Okay, you need to know these numbers.
See, I always get to the purchase price at the end.
Well, it depends how you do it. This is the way we teach it by refurb, refinance. A, purchase price. B, all of the acquisition costs to get it to a point where you've got the property, it's been refurbed, and you've got the keys where you can hand them to a letting agency, go and let that property out, or sell the property. And then you add them two together, that gives you a total money in, okay? Then you need to work out what the done-up value is. So we're going to call that D for this. D's done-up value. And again, that comes by speaking to lots of agents, finding out what it'd be worth done up. If you can, get it valued by a RICS approved surveyor. Speak to agents and say, look, I've got this property. What would the price be to put it on the market for full retail price? And then what would be the price if you put it on and got a buyer within, say, a week? And there'll be slightly different numbers. Take an average, okay? And let's say it's £160,000. So the quick number to work it out is 160,000 times 0.75. The reason it's 0.75 is because that's what the buy-to-let lending rate would be for the loan-to-value, 75%. So we know that on that deal, 160,000, you'd get around £120,000 back, give or take a few £1,000 for costs and all that sort of stuff. So for you to get a good buy, refurbish, refinance that's valued, done up at 160, and for you to get all of your money back, you need to have bought it and done the refurb and paid all your costs for less than £120,000. But let's say you spend £130,000. What does that mean? That means you're going to be leaving £10,000 there or thereabouts in the deal. But it's still a good deal.
Yeah, because you've got a house for 10 grand.
You've got a house worth 160 for 10 grand. And then the rest is leveraged by lending, and therefore you go and rent it out and you work your ROI figures out on what you leave in the deal. So let's say I did put £130,000 into this deal. and I'm only getting 120 back from the lender, my ROI would be calculated on my money that's left in the deal, which in this case would be £10,000. So it's £10,000 money in the deal divided by the profit that you're going to make on the property over the year. So it would be quite a high return on investment.
So basically, you're looking for properties that you can add value to.
Yep.
That's going to be much cheaper than the value in the end. So that could be in various ways. It could be that there's a plot of land. You can sell off the land.
Biggest gain is planning gain.
Yeah. It could be that you convert it to a commercial HMO and get a commercial conversion.
Commercial valuation, yeah.
It could be that it's just horrible. It's unmortgageable, and you make it nice and mortgageable again. So you're looking for houses with either problems or a way that you can get a good.
And they're everywhere. Like, you can find these at auctions, you can find them on the Deal Sourcer app, you can find these absolutely everywhere. Your job is to work out, one, what the refurb is going to cost and how much you can get it good again, how much is that going to cost you, and also to get that cost as low as possible. And if that means shopping around, perhaps doing some of the work yourself, if you work in the trades, things like that, to try and get that refurb cost as low as possible.
Yep. We talked about the Deal Sourcer app last week. So like one of the things I'm just doing now, so I've just jumped on the Deal Sourcer app. By the way, if you haven't downloaded it, we did mention this last week, but it's Deal Sourcer. Sourcer is spelt slightly differently. It's SOURCR. So it's dealsourcer.com. And it basically works out returns on investments, does all the hard work for you. So there's a little button here at the top that says refurb. I just click refurb, and it's coming up with all these houses that are online that are for sale that it thinks are need a refurb, basically. So that's a really good way to start. The other thing that you can click as well is there's planning. So you can look for stuff with planning, or you can look for stuff that's cash only. So cash only is a very good indication that there's something wrong. If they're only accepting cash, it means it can't get a mortgage. If it can't get a mortgage, that means there's something wrong with it, because the mortgage company won't lend on it. So it might be structural damage. It might be that.
The thing is, with cash only, you got to be aware why it's cash only. And you got to know that you can fix it and make it mortgageable. If it's, for instance, non-standard construction, there's very limited mortgage lenders that will lend against that. So that's why it's cash only. It might be near a mine shaft or things like that. So therefore, it's never going to be mortgageable unless it's been rectified. So you need to understand why it's cash only and know how you can fix that side of things.
Yeah. More right now, the mortgages as well, don't you think, like this year, they're making it a lot easier, aren't they?
It does seem a lot easier. However, going by last month, you thought it was very easy because you said there was 50,000 applications.
I didn't say there was. I just had an absolute. I did say I've got no idea how many. I also didn't even know when I put my answer down what region we were talking about. He said how many buy to.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. But so like buy refurb refinance, great strategy. Strategy. It's both of our favoured strategy on different scales. I think everyone that's got a little bit of money should be doing this. It's the way forward. I think it really is. I'm
literally looking at that would fit under this. Where some of them are build. But same thing. You're adding value to the land, right? So I'm looking right now actively. I've got 2 offers going on. And I'm looking at about 4 or 5 other sites right now.
You always want to. It's like a marketing funnel, okay? Your marketing funnel is buy refurb opportunities. So you want to be putting as many in that opportunity as possible. And as they go down, you won't do them all, but you hopefully get 1 or 2 out at the end, because not all buy refurb refinance opportunities materialise into any sort of deal. So just make sure that you can get the purchase price as low as possible. You know your numbers, get multiple quotes, stick to budget and try and project manage it so you actually stick on time. One of the biggest problems I see with buy refurb is builders running over. And then it does cost you a fortune, has an ongoing effect to things like refurb. If you do bridging, interest rates. For instance, one of my deals, I'm paying £1,000 a month in interest. And then if you factor in the loss of rental income from that property, because it's now 2 months over, it's going to achieve about £3,500 a month in rent. So that's £7,000. So it's cost me nearly £10,000 by being 2 months late, in theory. So it's just
not in theory, in practice.
Well, it's just one of them things. You have to be super on point with these things. And if you're struggling with it, if you don't know this strategy, learn it. We run a program called the Buy Refurbish Refinance Masterclass. Get along, get booked on, attend it. What you're going to invest to do that program, you're going to make back in your first property 10 times over if you do this right. But if you do it wrong, you'll lose that 10 times over, because I see so many people lose money in this strategy because they're not educated. So get educated, get along to the Buy, Refurbish, Refinance Masterclass. We've actually got a live virtual event, Buy, Refurb, Refinance, coming up in the next couple of weeks. So we'll put a link below if anyone wants to get registered or book a call to find out how they can attend that.
Yep, cool. So if you're looking for deals, then anything in particular that you're just looking for horrible stuff on like places like Rightmove and.
Do you know what? You're looking for rundown, tired. The more problems, the better. Something you can add value to. Something you can extend, go up, go out. I don't know. Lots of problems. The more problems, the more profit. That's what I say.
Cool. There you go. Right. It's now time for this. So in the news this week, a property levy to replace stamp duty and council tax is shelved over fears it could lead to higher bills. So MPs were told a proportional tax based on home values was under review in Jan. Government now says there are no plans on forming on a new form of annual property tax. It comes, a study found, it could have meant higher bills for people in the south east. So ministers have ruled out introducing. There was basically this talk of a new property levy to replace stamp duty and council tax, and it's.
What does it? Surely they're just renaming it. What's the what's the cost? And let's get to the hard brass tacks here. How much is it going to save people?
So. Well, I don't. Normally, when they change a scheme, it doesn't save people anything, does it? It only costs people. But MPs were told last month the idea of introducing a proportional tax based on home values was under review. But last night, a government spokesperson said we've got no plans to introduce any form of annual property tax. So it's looking like it's actually not going to happen. But there was an idea that it might end stamp duty.
Okay, but it's going to be replaced with a levy, which will be proportional to the property value. So. Is that not what stamp duty is anyway? Because it's all proportional to the property. Well, yeah. Do you not think it's just the government always justifying why they have so many people working there? Because it's like you come up with a new strategy this month, and we'll put it out to the media to try and scare some people, because that might instigate this people selling their houses or something like that. I don't know.
It actually looks like they're not going to do it anyway. But it was talk of it. But obviously, you've got the new budgets coming out. Next month, isn't it? So we'll probably find out more there and keep an eye on it. It'd be interesting to see what they do with stamp duty, because obviously right now it's reduced, isn't it? Yeah. And there's talk, of that potentially extending. Yeah. Which we'll obviously find out next month. But I don't know. We'll keep you up to date on it anyway. Yeah, so it was just in the news on today. We were just looking at it, but we'll keep an eye on it. I mean,
keep an eye on it.
It's very useful that stamp duty has been cut for now, and
obviously
of course it's really helped with the property market, so we'll see. But there you go. So not much actually in the news this week. Not much happening. Basically, we just wanted to tell you that nothing's happening. Right, it's now time for this.
Time for the quiz. In the red corner we have Mr. Russell Lee.
I was undefeated until last week.
In the blue corner we have Mr. Alaisdair Cunningham.
And it's 4-1, guys. It's 4-1.
All right. Okay, Go on, similar to last week, so it's going to be 3 questions, closest to.
Yeah.
Don't reveal your answers.
Have you told him the answers this week, or are we going afresh?
Stop with your accusations of cheating.
Right. Are we going to go up?
Just because he lost.
Are we going to? Okay, cool. Here we go. Question number 1. Going to start off pretty simple and easy. What is, to the closest pound, the average rent right now in London?
Ooh.
What's the average
rent in London? Oh, that's interesting. That is an interesting one.
Because there's so many different types of housing in London.
I'm assuming for private rented, it'll be private rented, not social rent included in that. Right, fine. Private.
It says, he hasn't got freaking
private rent. Fine.
Just what's the average?
What it says on Google.
Okay, fine. Right, average rent in London. Hey Siri. The average rent in London, okay.
My Siri's going like, yeah.
Right, okay.
Oh. Do you want that one?
No, Siri.
I've got my answer.
The next one is London Coliseum on St. Martin's Court, London.
No, Siri, shut up.
Alright, Russell, you got your
answer? Yeah, done.
Okay. Next question. You're going to have to follow this one.
Alright, fine.
Okay. I am a property investor, and I am starting my journey in London, and I'm doing a day of viewings. I'm going to go from London. You might want to write this down. I'm going to start in London.
Where about in London?
Tower Bridge in London. I'm going up to Lincoln, then up to Middlesbrough.
Wait. Tower Bridge to Lincoln.
Tower Bridge to Lincoln.
Hold on, is this the freaking journey that you guys did the other day?
Lincoln to Middlesbrough.
It is. How biased towards you is this, Chris?
It's not.
Go on,
actually.
London to Lincoln.
Middlesbrough to Manchester.
Yeah.
Then look, he's not interested in it now.
No, I'm
Manchester back down to Tower Bridge.
Yeah.
How many miles did we
It's
cover?
not. No, we went from London to,
We went to Derby and Stoke and
Bedford, Derby, Stoke, and we didn't go no.
So London to Lincoln, Lincoln to Middlesbrough to Manchester, Manchester back to London. How many miles do I cover?
Fucking hell.
Put your phone away.
Calculator.
No phone.
Alright.
Right. Ready?
Okay.
Okay. The battery's on red, is it going to last?
Yeah, it's fine, just go.
Right. Next question. Last week I asked you how many square foot was Buckingham Palace. This is part 2 of that question.
Alright, okay.
Fucking hell.
How many rooms does Buckingham Palace have?
Oh, for God's sake.
See, he's been round it.
Yeah, but
I've
I can't
never
remember,
been.
mate.
Oh.
There's absolutely no way I'm going to remember that sort of.
How many rooms does Buckingham
Because when you go
Palace
in
have?
the. When you stop looking at my answers again, he's like scratching
I've
his head.
committed though, haven't I? Do you know what I mean? It's not like I can change it.
Oh, okay. I mean, when you go into the tour, you're only allowed to certain parts of the house, the building.
What did you put?
I've not put
4:30.
anything.
Oh, also,
Yeah.
I'm sure Alaisdair probably wasn't walking around the tour with a clipboard and pen.
I probably was.
Probably was. He was probably like, so how many rooms are in here?
Do you reckon he picked the least option?
Right, okay. How many rooms in Buckingham Palace?
Out of interest, obviously you know the answer now,
Yeah.
but when you first thought of that question,
I was like, fuck, that many.
but what did you think it would be?
Well, I'm not going to tell you that because then it would be.
Alright, come on, let's just stop messing around because battery in the camera's going to go flat. Right, okay. So, how many rooms in Buckingham Palace?
How many rooms in Buckingham Palace?
I don't fucking know.
It's going to be more than 10. In your 37,000 square foot.
I've got no idea.
Okay, here we go.
No, hold on. Oh, I'm just going to go by a guess.
What's your
Can't read his
guess?
answer.
Go watch him. He's like being in school. He's like looking over to see the answers.
Yeah, we talk about how that's a good thing.
I know it is. Oh, okay.
Alright, here we go.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Put an answer.
Put an answer. First thing that comes to your head, go. Alright,
What's your book?
okay, here we go.
Similar.
Oh,
It's very close because it's going to be a lot, isn't it?
Average
It's got to
rent
be.
in London, Alaisdair.
£1,360.
Okay, Russell,
1,450.
1,425.
Yeah!
25, yeah, you win. Russell gets it.
Okay, London to Lincoln, Lincoln to Middlesbrough, Middlesbrough to Manchester, Manchester back to London. How many miles? We're going to go Russell first.
370.
370.
430.
The answer, you two are way off, but the answer is actually 608.
What, me? I win.
Alright.
One to me, one to
And
Russ.
it's the big one. How many
Oh, man!
Let's have? Who do we go to first? We're going to go to the Alaisdair.
650.
Russell!
Why are you laughing at it?
Because it's just the way he said it. It's nothing to do with that. Russell!
590.
Oh, no.
How many?
It has
I think there's more than 650.
760.
Yes! 2-1. That means it's 4-2, guys. 4-2. Loser.
You're celebrating losing.
It
4-2.
doesn't matter. You lost this week and last week. Looks like Alaisdair is on a roll, baby. Come on, let's go. 4-2.
Okay, here are this week's questions. First question from Paul Harris.
Hey, Paul.
There's
Hey, Paul.
conflicting opinions on whether to enter a buy refurb refinance project on a buy-to-let mortgage, who offer refinance options with 6 months, versus those saying entering in a mortgage is very short-term and it isn't legitimate and a bridging loan should be used. What is your opinion?
My opinion is whatever's going to be the cheapest for you to obtain. So bridging finance can be quite expensive, and depending on what the buy-to-let mortgage is, and depends what the early repayment penalties are, it depends on the costs. It's a numbers game. Look at how much you're going to save.
It is a numbers game, but typically, I mean, have you ever done a buy refurbish finance on a mortgage?
Nope.
No, not me.
Cash or bridging, because it gives you come from a much stronger position because it's quicker to get approved.
Okay, next question is from Hannah. And Hannah asks, a personal question for you both. What has been your biggest area of personal development over lockdown / the 2020 period?
Oh, interesting. That's a good one.
I've got a lot fitter, so I'd say that was my biggest personal point of view. So ever since, for a year now, since March last year, so 11 months, I've been doing an hour a day, 5 days a week in the gym.
Cool. Personal development, loads actually, but I can't pinpoint one thing. Yeah, same. I went through a bit of a phase of fitness, losing weight and going to the gym, but obviously gym's shut. So I got into it and I actually really started to enjoy going to the gym.
Have you seen my home gym?
I've not, but you can show me afterwards.
I've got I've got a treadmill, got a bike, got a
good stuff.
proper. Yeah.
Good stuff. Is that in the east wing or the west wing? Or?
That's in the orangery.
What kind of pass do we have to get into that part of the building?
Oh no, we're not allowed.
You're not allowed in. You have to stay in this area.
You're not allowed. You've not got the VIP pass.
I'm on the green badge.
Yeah, you have the green badge. Yeah, so listen, weight. I've lost sort of weight. I've got fitter. I actually enjoyed going to the gym. I've also been reading a lot more because I get a bit more time. And yeah, lots, just growing and learning more. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. That's what you've been doing. Next question.
Okay, cool. Final question is from Jay, and Jay says, "I'm looking at buy refurb refinance. Would you stay away from properties that have structural issues?"
No, the bigger the problem, the more profit. My property in Bedford had structural issues, and that's why 43 other people looked at it and run away because it had acroprops holding the upper floor up because there was structural issues. It was deemed insecure and it was deemed unsafe.
Just get a quote. Just get a builder to go in and give you a quote for how much it is to fix it. Same with everyone's getting put knotweed. No. It's you can get rid of knotweed for about 5k.
Yeah, I know everyone, but it's because they read about it on all these forums and that, and everyone says, "Oh, be careful," and that's what happens. Is people do be careful, but that's opportunities. I'm an opportunist, and I go along and I see them opportunities, and I do them, and I make the money. That's why I'm the one making 6 figures from Bedford, as opposed to the 43 other people that looked at it and said, "Ooh, too much."
I tried to buy a property with structural problems in Cannock a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, but I got outbid.
Yeah, well, so that's because you looked at it from a numbers point of view, not an emotional point of view. Because if you were looking at it emotionally, you would have kept bidding until you won it. Education comes through at this, unfortunately.
Well, you got to work out.
Get educated.
You're going to pay, haven't you?
Get educated.
Which is why I said I often work out. Do you know the buy refurbish rights formula? If you work it out backwards, so you get your GDV or your done up value at the end, because you can't change that.
Nope. Then
you get your refurb value, because again you can't really change that, and then you use that to work out how much you can pay
for it. Yeah. Same thing. That is. Guys, hope you found that useful. If you have, comment, drop us a message below. Let us know what you found useful. Also, let us know what buy refurb refinance deals you're doing and how you found them.
Also, come and see us at the crash course. We've been doing the crash course for a while, so we're back doing virtual crash courses. If you've got a Saturday free, you will not regret coming on.
You really will.
Doing a piece. Ricky's doing some. Yeah. I'm just sort of there, swanning around, acting important. So if you
normally orders lunch and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm just I'm the Ricky, aren't I?
On that note, guys, see you at the crash course. We'll put a link below. See you next time.
See you guys.
Yeah. And then you clip the leads to the belt, so you just walk with the belt and the dogs are running around.
If I did that, I would get pulled down the street. Isn't you know?
I'll tell you what happened to horses.
See what happened to me the other day. So my bigger dog, Nate, bull mastiff cross Rottweiler. He's huge. You guys know him, but for people at home,
can hear him coming a mile off. Here he is.
Go on.
Need to get his ball through.
Yeah, fair enough.
So anyway, so we went out into our garden. At the back of our garden's like a wooded area, and he sort of got into the woods.
Oh
this story because we ain't going to be able to focus.
And Jackson said, no, Neil, leave me alone. Oh, fucking hell.
It's a one-take wonder.
What you said about me? What did you say that for? I could hear him, you said I could hear him coming a mile off. You went, oh.
I didn't think you would think of it in that way.
Oh, come on, seriously? Oh, okay, let's go.
Alright.